What's up, everybody? We're back with a brand new episode of the All Punked Up podcast. I am your host, Tyler Winters. We've got my partners in crime with us today, Allie, Julia, and Bailey.
What's up?
This is Bailey's first episode of hopefully many with us. Bailey is a longtime friend of mine. I think we both got into the same music scene around the same time. It was probably right before blink-182 hit big with Enema of the State. Would you say that's right, Bailey?
I'd say that it's safe to say that we grew up together. I'd say that it's safe to say that we played and lived and breathed the same scene. So
yes,
excited to be here. Thank you.
Absolutely. So after announcing that we were going to try and drop these new episodes weekly, we were kind of hit with a little lull in the news the last 2 weeks. So there just wasn't anything really worth discussing. And I didn't want to put out an episode for the sake of just putting out an episode. I always want to make sure these episodes provide value to you guys. So I didn't want to put out something that wasn't up to par with what our standards are. But we're back now.
We have standards.
Yes, we do. So what have you guys been up to the last few weeks?
I've been working on an EP with my band for the past couple of weeks. We just tracked guitars yesterday. Next week we're doing vocals. And, other than that, I've just been applying for jobs, working on my portfolio, helping my sister get ready for school. She had her first day of school today.
Yay.
Woo! College online.
I remember the days of tracking guitar and singing and all that. So enjoy that, Allie. Take it in.
I definitely will. Long time coming.
How's the job search going?
I did get a freelance writing position at Ones to Watch. Shout out to Ones to Watch. We love your content. Keep it up. Ones to Watch, if anybody isn't familiar, is writing blog, similar to All Punked Up, run through Live Nation. Right now, I'm just really grateful for the opportunity to create content for them. Right now, of course, if you paid attention to our last long episode of the podcast, you'll know that Live Nation, we covered it. They've had quite a hit due to the pandemic. So the position is freelance, as I like to call it. But at this point, I just write, and I wanted to write for them just out of love for the game, if you will. I mean, I've wanted to work for them for a long time. And now that the opportunity is here, I'm excited to, support the music industry and support a website that I love. I won't be competing, though, with All Punked Up. I won't do anything punk-related.
Well, it's all about networking right now and getting the experience. So as long as you're getting that, that's fine. Julia, what have you been up to?
So life's been really crazy. I just started a full-time teaching job on top of all the lovely stuff that I get to do with All Punked Up.
Congratulations.
And the students start on Monday in person. We've been online for a week, and it's just been crazy. Technology has not been reliable, and I don't think the students or the schools are ready to go back, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
So,
Are you guys using Zoom? I heard it went down on Monday, hard.
Yeah, so Zoom crashed on Monday, Canvas crashed. We have, for our in-person classes, over double the capacity of the classrooms right now. It's crazy. So
not safe. Damn.
No, but I'm happy that we get to do stuff like this and talk about the scene we love, because that's a great distraction from all of that.
All right, Bailey, what about you, man?
So I'm really excited to talk to you about the bands that I care about and try and add value to what we're doing here. I do a lot of stuff, and I speak, and I have a loud mouth, and I don't want to hog any of the space that we have right now for anything other than that. I'm really excited about Starwolf's new single. I didn't know it was a part of an EP. I was only hoping that it was. I sent you a link to that, and I'm hoping we can set up an interview soon. It's a tasty jam. It's like a jazzy version of Maroon 5, and I mean like songs about Jane. I don't mean that in the commercial sense after that. It's crazy to know that they're just going for it. The video's psychedelic. It's awesome. Really excited about The Dangerous Summer. They are crushing it right now. They just hit a post on Spotify, and I've got to get the amount of views that they have, but it was in
about 600,000.
Yeah, forgive me, 600,000.
Yeah.
And it's been out for 2 months or something?
Yeah.
But no, that's what I'm pumped about. So thanks for for having me on.
Yeah, man, no problem. I'm excited to have you on just because we go way back and, we just share the same love for the scene. Like, and I think I talked to you before, when we were trying to set this up and get you going, and how, like, back in high school, we were listening to, pop punk all the time. And we graduate high school. I ended up kind of getting away from the scene because I was hanging around different people in college and whatnot. But man, the scene just always seems to pull you back. You can't get away from pop punk and the feeling that music gives you. It's just nice. It almost feels nostalgic in a way having you on with us.
Well,
so I appreciate it.
It should, because there's a lot of really good memories in all those tunes and all those albums. And to correct it, that thing's been out for a month. 1 month, and they've got 700,000 streams on Spotify. That's
Dang.
At least $8. That's at least, you can fill your gas tank with that. No. But yeah.
I pay artists more, please.
Please. Now they have these 360 deals where they want everything from you. Oof, that makes my stomach hurt.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, since quarantine, people have been doing new things and trying new stuff. My 5-year-old daughter and I have decided that we wanted to learn how to skateboard. So
yes.
So for the last couple of weeks, we've been doing that. I've always been envious of people who know how to skateboard. I've always been a fan of extreme sports. Absolutely love watching the X Games. I just never really pushed myself to really learn to skate. I had friends who knew how. I rolled with those kids when I was younger. I just never learned. But at 34 years old, I thought, you know what? I'm going to learn to freaking skate. So we're doing it. So, and I have to say my daughter, who's 5, is doing really well right now. She's pushing with her, with her right foot or whatever. And she finally started getting it on the board now. So it's pretty exciting. So if I can just like learn to ollie and kickflip and maybe grind, I think I will be one super happy camper.
That's awesome.
You have to get that kickflip down.
Yeah, so
that's awesome. Skating is like very cathartic, very therapeutic. I'm really glad to see you and your daughter have that experience together. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think
That's
I'll
adorable
probably
also.
Yeah. And it's fun. It is a bonding experience for us. But I think what I'll end up doing is, taking some video of me sucking at first and then hopefully seeing like a progression over like a year or a few months or something. And I don't know. I think it'd be pretty cool to look back on.
If you do it once a day for 30 days, you'll be better. That's all it is.
That's true.
Just once, just try it. You'll be amazed in how far you've gone.
Yep.
I agree. And that's the thing. We want to be consistent and do it every day. Try to do it every day.
There you go.
So.
Cool.
All right. So let's go ahead and get to some news. As I said previously, the last few weeks have just been so slow with news. Nothing really worth discussing. But there has been a little bit of news coming out this week. For one in particular, I do have a bone to pick with a major news source in the scene. We're not going to drop any names, but this source is the biggest player in the scene news game right now. So they posted an article titled "See Frank Carriero's upfront response to an MCR fan asking for new music." I thought, okay, awesome. When I saw that title, I was like, let's see when some new My Chemical Romance music is coming out. So I click on the article, and I find out I was clickbaited so freaking hard. There was literally nothing about any new My Chemical Romance songs coming or not coming. Nothing mentioned about it. All that was referenced was Frank responding to a tweet from a fan that said, "We're still waiting on new music with the band, just saying." Frank's response was, "You're definitely going to have to narrow down the band for me." And that's it. That's all they wrote about in regard to new possible music for My Chemical Romance. So that's the information you got when you came for so much more based on the title. The rest of the article just went on to talk about how he named a fan's freaking dog. So you come to find out about the possibility of new My Chemical Romance music, but instead you get news Frank named a fan's dog.
Yeah, so I saw a similar post for this news outlet, And I was reading through the comments because I was just wanting to see how people were reacting to it. And somebody commented, this news outlet has become the BuzzFeed of the alternative music scene. And I thought, well, damn, that's insulting to BuzzFeed. Because, like, BuzzFeed does have, like, a long-form news section that, like, does work really, really hard to produce well-researched and accurate, like, content for their readership. And I was just like, well, shit. Like, you know, it's bad when people, like, say that you're, like, the most mediocre or whatever, and then it turns out you're even worse than that. Like, what's even the word for it is just bad. You're just bad. And I feel terrible. I feel really terrible for this outlet because I have friends that work there. I, you know, used to do video stuff for them, and it's frustrating because I'm pretty sure all of us have been fans of this news outlet, you know, in our youth, you know, and to see it, like, just turn into what it is now, it's just disappointing. Like, I'm getting to a point where I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
So I just think, like, what's the freaking point? I just feel like this publication does do this stuff all the time in just being clickbaity and filling their articles just full of fluff. It takes forever to find out what you came for in their articles. I will go on the record and say that All Punked Up will never write articles like that, at least not as long as I'm in charge. I don't like to be clickbaited because I know that no one has time to read articles that don't give any value whatsoever, and because I don't like how I feel when I've been baited. So I know nobody else feels
it's not
great.
A positive feeling.
Right. I did want to get that off my chest, though.
Yeah, you're also very hungry and you want to put out content that you want to see. I think that the landscape right now is very bare bones, and I don't know if you have seen the same trend where podcasting and interviews is almost becoming the first source of news instead of the last. And if those people are salespeople, then good for them. I mean, you did your job, but people might not come back. I mean, you can only do that so many times, and you've already lost credibility with the audience for clickbait. And I mean, some of these publications are just posting Instagram screenshots. It's like, yep. Everybody saw that, everybody got it, but you're trying to make money off of it.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, sometimes using screenshots can be good for providing context and making sure that you're getting your quotes, you know, correct. But I think when you overuse it and rely solely on, you know, social media posts, social media can only tell you so much.
Think about the hole that this publication has created, and now you have the chance to fill it with something that has meat and has context, and it's a genuine story. I just feel it's much more impactful for you being a fan of something to write it, and then you get to cut through all the fat of the internet and it just goes straight to the top because it is that human story, and they can only do that for so long. I mean, they're going to close up shop. It's just like a restaurant serving bad food. People won't tell you that you have bad food. They just won't go back. They'll tell all their friends how bad your food was, and then all of a sudden you don't have a restaurant anymore.
Right. Unless they're an avid Yelp reviewer. You know the type.
God. Everybody's a critic.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah. What a complicated world we live in.
Isn't it?
It's fantastic.
So, speaking of complicated, the scene has been flooded again with sexual misconduct allegations.
Oh, what a transition right there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, you set us up, so it was perfect. But, Allie, I think you got some news on that front.
That is not what I thought we were going to talk about next, according to my notebook. But I guess here we are. Yeah, so if you spend way too much time on Twitter, like I do, I saw the other day that there was a hashtag trending, which is, of course, how everybody likes to do activism these days, instead of, actually doing things. so this hashtag running around was "We Stand with Brendan Urie," and I was like, what did he do? Or what happened to him? What happened? So, apparently, sexual assault allegations have come out against Brendan, and this is not, the first time in the past couple of months. Hell, the last couple of years, decades, take your pick, that people from, prominent people from the alternative music world have been called out on inappropriate behavior with minors, inappropriate behavior with bandmates, friends and family, just in general, things that you definitely shouldn't do. And we, of course, here at APU, we don't like to jump to conclusions. Right now, everything is alleged. Brendan hasn't made a statement yet, at least to our knowledge at the time of this taping. But yeah, right now, the things that are the top, 3 things on this long list are sexual misconduct and assault with minors, ableist and racist remarks caught on video, and joking about raping fans at shows, and of course, homophobic remarks. Great, even though he himself has come out as pansexual, I think a couple of years ago, which is interesting. And then the thing that bothers me the most, so Brendan, if you've ever been to his live show, I personally have never been to a Panic live show. I know, sin against God right there. I know, it's such a missed opportunity, but apparently what he used to do, he used to make out with his bandmate on stage during shows, and his bandmate has gone on the record and said I hate that. That's not what I'm into. I've told him no, and he still does it anyway as a joke. That's just, that's assault right there with somebody that you're supposed to have a close creative relationship to. And that's just, I don't know. It's just a lot. There's a lot happening.
I think it's just very frustrating overall to hear about these people that we've looked up to for a long time. And in the last couple of months, a lot of people have come forward with a lot of different artists. It is frustrating because it's not a joke. If someone doesn't want that to happen to them, that shouldn't be happening. Even if it's on stage and it's a show, they should be consenting to the act to put on that show. So when you hear these things, it gets very frustrating, especially because, it changes your whole view of them, and you're going to try not to let it, especially as we don't know what's going on for sure. We don't have a lot of things confirmed. But that video that we were discussing earlier from, I believe it was on Reddit or something.
It was Tumblr.
But I just think watching that video, I had never seen a video where I heard Brendan talk in that way, saying, oh, I don't care if you want it or not, we're going to do it, and then talking to his bandmate, you're going to watch. And I think for me, that clip, when I got to the very end of that clip, I literally wanted to throw up. I felt so sick. And this is somebody that I love, and maybe he was a little tipsy, on stage trying to put on this performance. But the way the fans just screamed when he said, even if you don't want it, why were they cheering for that? Why was that the reaction? I get we all get to be crazed fans. We don't even pay attention sometimes to what people say. Mm-hmm. But it really just the last couple of months with all of these things going on and seeing all these posts and videos and people parting waves from bands, lots of bands have said goodbye to members over the past couple of months. And I just think that it's really opened my eyes to how much this happens and how we should all be more aware and more conscious and be holding people accountable. If we see band members or bands that we work with or for doing inappropriate things, someone needs to bring it to someone's attention. Yeah. We can't sit here and be these bystanders and condone this behavior or ignore this behavior, because ignoring it is just as bad as condoning it, because we're still letting it happen and we're not doing anything about it.
Right. Well, the thing is too, if you see something, you can't expect the victims to come out and say something right away. So if you're a band member, or you're a friend or whatever, and you see something, speak for that person. We've seen it time and time again that victims it takes time for them to work up the courage to come out and say something. So we gotta assume that trend is going to keep happening. So if you see a friend or you see a band member or you see somebody not doing something appropriately, say something. Stick up for that person. Stick up for the person they're treating inappropriately.
Right.
Even if you're wrong and what you're assuming about what you're seeing is not what's going on and things are consensual and things are mutual, it might be a little awkward for about 5 seconds when you bring it to somebody's attention, but once you clear the air, it's all over and it's fine. And if it was not consensual and mutual and things like that, then you just saved somebody or you became the voice for somebody who's still trying to process what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the worst thing that can happen is if you do notice something and you do talk to somebody about what you see or what you hear, the worst thing that's going to happen is this awkward conversation. Oh no, I consented to that. Like that was fine. Or you know what I mean? So I think it's just, why do people fear that awkward conversation? Worst thing that could happen is you could be wrong and then, okay, everything's clear, everyone's good, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that, as, I completely relate with your statement of it can take a long time for somebody who's experienced these things to, one, process it, and then two, feel, brave enough to come forward. Because, I myself, and I'll out myself for this, I have been a victim of sexual assault. And it took me many years to, even become comfortable isn't the word, because you never truly become comfortable. It took many years to acknowledge, I guess, is the term we're going to go with here, to acknowledge that you can talk and communicate with people about it. And you can find people who can help you work through traumas you've experienced and feelings that you experienced. I think a lot of people need to realize that, there are people that you can talk to sooner. Because I think, when you're young, and me included, and many people that I know that experience similar things, that they're on the same age I did, you're not very aware of what your resources are, or you're not really aware that, talking about it is okay. At least, in the I grew up in the South, you just don't talk about that kind of stuff. So, I think if anybody's listening right now, there are resources for you, and there is a community for you. And it's okay to take your time to speak, and it is okay to speak. But right now, what we really need are people to speak. We can't be quiet about this anymore.
I think that we need to speak, especially for minors too, because when you're that age, you don't know what's going on and you don't realize sometimes what the problem is, because when you're 15, 16, 17, I was like that too. I thought I knew everything. I thought I was an adult. I'm responsible and I know everything. And so when you're, that age and you have these older guys in bands and they're super cool and all of this stuff, you don't even realize that them just hitting on you is inappropriate. And any step further than that is 100% illegal and unsafe. And so I think for minors especially, if a 15-year-old girl goes to her 18-year-old sister and tells her about an incident with a guy in a band that's over, 21, somebody needs to go and say something. Someone needs to help her process that that's not the normal and that's not okay. And as much of an adult as you are working towards being, you are still a child, and people shouldn't take advantage of you like that. And at that age, you can't process that. You can't.
Definitely
and
not.
So that's why, part of the reason why especially minors take so long to process it, is you get to be 22, 23 years old, and then you realize
You're
at
just
that point in
that
time,
was wrong.
oh, he was
It's
this age, in this mental state, while I was still in that teenager mindset and teenager body and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like that's part of the reason why sometimes people take a long time to come out too, is they physically, it takes that long to process, not only because it's traumatic and not only because people don't know and they're scared to talk about it, but they physically just couldn't process it and comprehend it.
Mm-hmm.
And so someone needs to kind of step up and let people know, that's not the normal when you're 15 and a 22-year-old guy is hitting on you. That's not okay.
It's illegal.
It's very illegal and it's
Very
very
illegal.
wrong.
That's somebody's sister, somebody's daughter, somebody's granddaughter,
Yep.
that person.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
The only good that can come of this is that victims feel it's okay to come forward. In my opinion, that's the only good that can come from this. we were talking off air about this, and this is not at all, this does not give creative license to do anything, but to make a point about the older men and the younger women, this stuff's been going on since Elvis. Do you guys know how old Priscilla was when Elvis?
She was 13.
Yeah, and her dad's like, it's okay, you guys can hang out, that's fine. No, it's not. It's not okay. But this really sounds, and again, all this is alleged, and all of it is alleged, but if I had any hindsight or any thought, it would be that this is a power situation. This is a Tommy Lee that has never been told no a day in their life. They signed a record deal at XYZ 15, 16 years old, and all of a sudden they're the head of the company that is that band. And there is obviously some type of power struggle between the sound guy and the lead act. Unless he may be the best, and he using that loosely, right? Unless the leader of that company is mentally capable of knowing exactly what's going on and the position that they're in, it's very possible they're drunk with power, and that does not give anybody creative license. It doesn't. I really hope that people come forward and they do know that there are valuable resources, because at this point, if it's happening with male on male, female on female, I mean, if it's happening to everybody, and even Terry Crews is getting his butt grabbed and he's like, this is not right. I really feel that I'm not excited this happened to people, but I'm very excited that people get to fight and they get to advocate for their rights, and to know that they're people, and to know that they're valuable, and to know that there shouldn't be a power dynamic in a conversation, because at the end of the day, we're all pushing this one thing together, and if you're not, then we got to recognize a scumbag, whatever gender they may be, and just get them out. Bye.
100% agree.
Yeah.
I think that sums it up perfect.
Yeah.
Well done, guys.
Yeah.
Let's not forget either that it's not just Brendan's situation that's come out this week or over the last couple weeks, but there's been some other bands. Allie, I think you alluded to it earlier with Paris, one of their members. Sleep on It.
Simple Plan with their touring guitarist.
Oh, that's right.
There was allegations against the bassist of A Day to Remember, and that has never been addressed by the band or the bassist, so it's just...
So.
All right. I think right now we'll take a quick break and we'll be right back. If you listen to our podcast, then you no doubt have a love for the rock, alternative, punk, and emo genres we cover. And with everything going on in the world today, it can be tough to stay up to date with all of the happenings in the scene. That's why we put together and send out a weekly newsletter to help keep you informed with all the major news from the music world we know and love, so you never have to miss an important update. Each newsletter will include exclusive newsletter-only content, the top trending news pieces from the previous week, all punked up specific news, random thoughts and rants from me, editor-in-chief and founder, curated weekly playlists, band spotlights, and much more. You can subscribe today by heading to allpunkedup.com/subscribe. That's allpunkedup.com/subscribe. And we are back. So we're going to continue on with some news. If you guys have been following blink-182 over the last couple of weeks, you may have seen some Matt Skiba leaving blink-182 rumors floating around. If you've been following the releases of blink-182, you may have also noticed that Matt Skiba wasn't featured or credited on those songs. It was Mark and Travis that were featured as Blink-182 on an Oliver Tree song. And then Blink released a new song called Quarantine that also didn't feature Skiba. It really wasn't until a lyric video for Quarantine came out that then you could see Skiba was like drawn in, playing guitar and whatnot. So with all that going on, it obviously sent the Blink fans and media outlets into a little frenzy. I myself was hoping it was true and that Tom was coming back. But of course, I knew better. We've all been through this before. I was still hopeful, though. I think,
man, I love you, but you gotta let it go.
I know. I know.
It hurts.
Holding
Hey,
on to dear
same
life
thing.
here.
Hey, I think Skiba's great, but I just don't think Blink is Blink without Tom. And everyone who's listening can at me. DMs are available. I will say, though, that Mark did, however, confirm, after letting us all speculate for a few days, that Blink is indeed working on a new EP and that Skiba was working with John Feldman on his parts for that upcoming EP. Hoppus also went on to say that the reason Skiba wasn't on those songs was because he was taking quarantine seriously and didn't want to get out and record. So I think he was just being smart, and you can't blame him for that. So, but I still was hoping for, a little Tom DeLonge to come on back.
Let's not forget about what Mark said on Animal Crossing, where it's possible within the somewhat near future, but that was like right when COVID hit kind of time before we realized how long COVID was going to last. So I don't think it's in the somewhat near couple years future anymore, but it might have been at one point in time.
Wait, was he referring to Tom coming back when he said that?
He was referring to doing live shows with Tom as the lead singer of Blink again. I don't think he was referring to joining the band completely again, but he definitely was referring to some sort of live performances again.
See, I didn't hear that one. Now I'm excited.
No.
That's clickbait.
I'm excited.
I'm sorry, I re-inspired hope.
Oh no! Look what you've done.
I mean, it's definitely going to happen one day. And I think I said it in the first episode because there were Blink rumors going on then. But I think the best time for Tom to come back, if he comes back, will be when Blink is inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because some bands get the opportunity to perform at their induction ceremony, and I think Blink deserves the right to play because of what they've accomplished in their career and how many doors they've opened. And I think it would only be fitting for Tom to be playing guitar, Tom to be singing, and Skiba to be in the crowd cheering them on.
I mean, I think this is the way I would see it go down personally. If they did perform, I would think that, they've obviously had, a phase with Skiba and a phase with, Tom. So I think, and they've produced music that people love. I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying that people love in both phases of, Blink's career. I think what would be cool is if, what they did was have Matt maybe start, playing with them, and then Matt be like, ladies and gentlemen, Tom DeLonge, and then, Tom comes out, and they, sub out, they get a ref, and they just sub out.
That would be an epic performance and an epic idea, I think.
Worlds right there.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. I think that's how I would want it to go down personally. Of course, I'm not in charge of that, so we'll just have to see.
Yeah, we'll just wait and see what the future holds.
Mm-hmm.
Someone needs to put Tyler in charge of that.
Oh, it would be a done deal.
So Bailey had an interesting question that he brought up during our ad break. He asked us, what has been your favorite performance since during the pandemic? Obviously, a lot of musicians have, turned to using social media, Twitch included, as a means to perform for their fans. And a lot of people have been doing live studio sessions as well. So what has been your favorite quarantine performance from a band?
I think for me, if we're going to go with performance, I really liked Post Malone's Nirvana tribute concert. I thought it was amazing. I tuned in not expecting much, but I was surprised. I thought everybody involved did such a great job. I really enjoyed that performance.
When Dave
so check that out
and says you did well.
Oh yeah, right.
That you did well.
Yeah, when Dave Grohl says you did a good job, you definitely did a good job. Absolutely.
I think it does also silence a lot of folks for their auto-tune conversations and the lack of talent. And this guy's just posted, wow, that was a weird slip of the tongue, that he's being propped up by a label and he doesn't have talent. But the guy's got chops. He can do whatever he wants at this point. He has the creative freedom within reason, not to be a dirtbag, to call back to a previous conversation. I don't want that guy to be a dirtbag, but he has creative license to work with whoever he would like to. That's the best.
Yeah.
So what about you guys? What do you think for your performances?
The first one that comes to mind is Super American. They're a amazing band, and I want to see them live so bad. I did a video interview with them a couple months ago, and it was a live session with Quiet Country Radio. So, but we should definitely put the link for that live session in the description box below. Because it's just so good.
I think for me, I couldn't really like pick one performance per se because a lot of my favorite bands were going on almost every week and like doing like even just like one quick song or just one member of the band was on. But one of my favorite things that has come out of this was Grayscale's Live from the Barbershop Studios EP. Those videos weren't live, but they did such an amazing job at bringing like those jazz influences into their songs. And it was just like, it felt like a completely new song to me, but it felt also so familiar. And I wanted to just like give Grayscale huge props for that because that's been on repeat since the day that EP came out.
That's awesome. I definitely need to check that out because I haven't heard it yet, and I like Grayscale.
And the video is so awesome.
Bailey, what about you, man?
I'm going to be greedy. I've got two, but they're all over the place.
It was your question, so you can be greedy.
I know, it's weird. This is going to be a throwback. Silverstein presents Quarantine.
Oh, I love that.
Documentary, concert from home. It was like a full-length movie. It was 20 minutes long. I loved it. And then the other one was Alanis Morissette's performance on Jimmy Fallon, Ablaze. Oof, I'm a parent, and that knocked me out. If you haven't had the chance to see that, they're all playing Quarantine from different locations. And Alanis Morissette is singing with her daughter in her hands, and the song is about her daughter and her son.
Aww.
And her daughter gets to sing during the chorus, and it is just
that's so wholesome.
It's to quote Hamilton, I'm undone. Like, when you smile, my son, I am undone. What I got.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check that out too. Alanis is one of the best.
Well, if you have time, she was just on Dak's podcast, and she really goes into how the industry tried to chew her up and how she's very excited about being a parent and only letting certain people into her world and being a role model. And I don't think there's enough of that right now. I think there's a lot of like me in front of this camera, and there aren't a lot of people that are as honest. I mean, we're talking at the beginning of the show about how influential social media can be, but behind the curtain, it's a dumpster fire.
Oh yeah.
Because you're only seeing the highlights.
No,
really.
I want to hear from the people that have walked through the dumpster fire and they're still here, so I can learn from them. And it's just really inspiring.
All right, guys, we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, we're going to play the album age game. So come back and play along. All right, guys, let's play the album age game. So I'm going to name an album, and you're going to tell me how old it turned or how old it will be turning this year.
Oh, God.
You guys ready? So I'm going to name the album, and we're going to go one by one. You're just going to guess and tell me how old you think it's going to be turning or how old it is currently.
I'm going to say this right now. Future Allie, I am very disappointed in you. Because I know you're not going to do well at this.
We're going to do the closest without going over wins.
Okay.
All right. First album. Oasis's debut album, Definitely Maybe. How old will it be turning on August 30th?
Oh, wait. No, wait. Okay, wait. That album came out the year I was born. Wait. This is gonna be 26.
Sure, I know the year.
Oh, no, I know that because it was like it's the year I was born. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's 26.
So you're confident that it's 26.
Yeah.
Or going to be 26.
Well, yeah.
Julia?
I was going to say 28, but Allie seems really confident, so I just might copy her answer.
All right, so 26. Bailey?
I don't math. I'm an art, but I think it was 1990.
Oh, I don't math either. The only
I think
reason
it
I
was
know this is
92.
because it was the year I was born.
All right. And the correct answer is it was released August 30th, 1994, and it will be turning 26 this year.
Hell yeah.
You are right.
Nice.
Okay.
That's the only one I'm getting.
I don't think I would have gotten that right. Next album. Here we go. Green Day's Insomniac. How old will it turn on October 10th?
20?
All right, so Allie says 20.
I don't. No, wait,
Final
no,
answer?
20 is wrong. All right, we're just gonna go with 20 because it's a round number. There we go.
All right. Julia.
23?
Bailey.
27, Bob. 27.
The correct answer is Green Day's Insomniac will be turning 25 as it was released October 10th, 1995.
So Julia gets that one because she didn't go over, right?
Yes.
Nice. Way to go,
Yes.
Julia.
Okay, so this one is an absolute classic. Nirvana's Nevermind will be turning what on September 24th?
That came out before I was born, right? Yeah. Question mark.
Got a great poker face there, Tyler.
Shut up. I'm gonna say that's gonna be turning 28. 29.
Okay, 28.
29. It's 29.
Going with 29. All
Yeah.
right.
I'll go with 31.
Maybe.
1994, Bob. 1994.
So it's turning how old then?
I don't math. 94.
Okay.
That would be 26, I think. Right, Allie? Is that how old you are?
26. That's how old I am.
All right. Allie got it again.
Hell yeah!
29. It will be turning 29 on September 24th.
Nice. I am so proud of myself.
Okay.
I take
That's
back
called a
my
hustler.
previous
She walks in,
statement.
I'm not going to do very well, guys.
I know. I was thinking the same
I
thing.
did so bad the last game, okay? I only got like one right. I felt like I had to take away like my proverbial emo card or something. It was just so bad.
Yeah,
It was so
Julia. I think Julia ran away with that one.
Yeah, Julia won that round. She like killed it.
All right. Album number 4. We're doing 5. So album number 4. Blink-182's Take Off Your Pants and Jacket was released on June 12th. How old did it turn this year?
I don't know why I'm asking questions. I know you're not going to answer.
I want to say...
I have all 3 copies, just so we're clear.
So should Bailey answer
I
first?
had to
No.
purchase all.
Yeah, Bailey answer first so I can...
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's always ladies first.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, fine. I feel like it's 97. For whatever reason, I feel like that album came out in 97. So I'm gonna say, I don't know, 23. Is that how old people are when they're born in 93 or 97? Excuse me, 97. Are they like 23 or something?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Or I'm gonna say 23. Yeah.
If you were born in 97, you're 23 or
Okay.
gonna be.
I don't math.
All right. So Allie says 23. How old, Julia, do you think Take Off Your Pants and Jacket is?
I'm like torn between like somewhere between like 19 and 23, so I'm just gonna go with 19. Just shoot low.
Okay. Bailey.
I don't math, Bob, but I can tell you that Live at the Mark, Tom, and Travis show came out in the summer of 2000. I can also tell you that Take Off Your Pants and Jacket came out in 2001.
That's what I thought. Is that right?
I don't math. 2001.
Yes. Julia and Bailey got it right. So it's 19.
Okay.
I can't believe that album is 19. Man.
What came
only
out in
remember
97
that.
from Blink? Now I need to know.
That was Buddha. Or excuse me,
Yeah.
that Ranch. I apologize.
Dude Ranch,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Fly Swatter, Buddha, Cheshire Cat. We could do it if you want to. How far rabbit hole you want to go? You want to talk about the unauthorized records? We can do that too. I got that kind of time.
So Allie's got 2 right. Julia, you have, how many do you have right?
Just 2 also.
2. Bailey, you need this one, I think. All right.
He needs
They're
it to be
all
a 3-way tie.
Don't need any.
Yeah, and he could come through on this one. All right.
What?
Sum 41's All Killer No Filler was released on May 8th. How old did it turn this year? Sum 41's All Killer, No Filler. How old did it turn this year?
So it either came out
I
in,
drank a lot in my 20s.
it was either 01, 03, or 04. I'm trying to figure it out. But I'm pretty sure
it was. I think it was. I don't think it was 01.
You don't think so?
No, I don't know why. I just remember being, because I was 6 in 01, and I don't feel like that was a thing, like, that, like, happened.
I listen to that album a lot, and I know I see the year on it all the time.
What is it? It's more than 20. I know that. Bailey, you go first. We went first last time.
All right, so I have to go through chronologically. And in doing that, I can put myself having that CD for the summer alongside Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. But I do believe that it came after Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. So I would have to say I'm going to stick with 2001.
You see, damn, Julie, I feel like we should get on board with
I'm
Bailey.
pretty stuck.
Because you also said 01.
I feel like it's 01 or like 03 maybe. I was a baby when that came out. I was in diapers.
I was in elementary school trying not to eat crayons. I don't know.
Jeez.
I don't know. Okay, that's a lie. I never ate crayons. That was not a thing I did.
It was only paste.
No, I didn't do that either. I didn't have, there was this
Play-Doh?
kid next to me that would eat glue. And I just never, it looked disgusting to me. So I never had the inclination as a child to do that kind of stuff. It was just ugh, no thank you.
I had a teacher who had a student, and she said, "Lunch is over, honey," and just walked away.
Oh god. Okay.
I'm gonna go at 17 years old. I'm gonna go at 2003.
I love how invested you are right now. This is exciting.
I've never won a game. We've only done the games twice, I know that, but I just never won.
She's on the cusp.
I need to redeem myself,
Come on,
okay?
Allie. I think either me or Bailey has the right answer, possibly.
I know. That's why I'm trying to deliberate. All right, now I'm gonna go in the middle of the two of you. I'm gonna say 2002. I'm gonna say it's 18.
All right. We have a 3-way tie because Bailey got it right. It was released in 2001, making it 19.
In my hand. For my
Just
senior of high school. That
should
song
jumped on the
was
boat.
huge.
The tiebreaker will be on the next episode.
Okay, fine. That means all of us have to show up next time.
Yes.
I'll be there.
Absolutely. All right, guys, that'll do it. Thanks so much for listening and hanging out with us. Help support us by liking, subscribing, and following this channel. Tell your friends and spread the word. We're on all major podcast streaming platforms, so follow or subscribe there as well. So thanks again, and remember, spread love. Peace.